Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by actionable and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right. Well, hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am so excited to continue our series, The Act of Balance in Life. You see, this month we have been exploring the different ways that we can create a more balance in our lives today. We're focusing on emotional balance, something that is the key to our overall well-being. But before we dive in, I want to remind you all about the amazing resources that we have available. We've got a free mini ebook called 5 Simple Ways to Set Your Attention for a Harmonious Life that you can download right now from our website. It's filled with practical tips to help you to bring more balance into your life. And for those of you that are looking to take an even deeper dive, we have a full 102-page ebook workbook entitled Balancing Act, a guide of harmonizing your life. And in this workbook is designed to guide you step by step through the process of creating a more balanced and fulfilling life. Also, I'm excited to announce that we are currently in a 21-day challenge of living life balance. And this challenge is packed with daily exercise and reflection to help you to create a more balance in your mind, body, and spirit. Now, in this episode, we'll be talking about emotional well-being and how it impacts our lives and ways that we can achieve emotional balance. We'll also hear from one of our listeners who's reached out to us after the Healing Beyond Betrayal series. And I'll share some insights from chapter 6 of our Act of Balancing Act workbook and building some emotional resilience. All right. So before we get into this, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to dive more into this emotional balance and how we can manage our feelings and well-being. All right. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Dog Pound Mike from Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Come check us out every week. And remember, I'm no relationship expert. I just tell it like I hear it from the kennel. Get back at it.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
Now, these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on the website, the Season of Self-Love podcast.com. Let me ask you this, with the truth.
Are you ready to embark on a journey toward harmony and balance? Join us for our exciting new challenge, the 21 Days Living Balance Challenge on the Season of Self-Love podcast, as part of our monthly series, The Act of Balancing Life. This challenge will guide you through daily practices designed to help you harmonize your mind, body, and spirit, whether you're juggling work, relationships, or self-care. We're here to support you every step of the way. Don't wait, sign up now to take part in this transformative experience starting October 1st. Together, we'll build a community of balance, seekers ready to embrace joy and self-discovery. Visit our website or click the link in our bio to join the challenge today. Let's find our balance together.
All right, welcome to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and this month is all about balancing active life, the act of balancing life, This is our series for this month. Today's episode is all about emotional balance and how can we manage our feelings for a better well-being. Right. All right. So before we get into the topic, before we begin, let's take a moment to just center ourselves with a short guided meditation. So wherever you are, and if it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes and softly just soften your gaze. All right. All right. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, and I want you to exhale slowly through your mouth. All right, let's repeat that and do that once again. I want you to inhale deeply in. Now I want you to exhale slowly out your mouth, releasing any tension or stress that you may be holding on to. Now, as you continue to breathe, I want you to imagine a calm and peaceful space. This can be a quiet beach, a serene forest, or even your favorite room at home. I want you to visualize yourself standing in this space, feeling completely grounded and centered. Any emotions or tension that you have been carrying are slowly melting away. Now I want you to set an intention for emotional balance. Let this be a moment of release where you can let go of any emotions that are weighing you down. And I invite you in a sense of peace and clarity. Now I want you to inhale balance and exhale tension. Now when you are ready, I want you to gently bring your awareness back to the present moment and open your eyes. All right, thank you. All right, my beautiful people. So if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love Podcast, it's something we do every day, Monday through Friday, where we help center ourselves before we get into the topic at hand. All right, so let's talk about the importance of emotional well-being, all right? So now that we've centered, so let's dive in, all right? Emotional well-being. Emotional well-being is about how we manage our feelings and how those feelings impact our mental and physical and relational health. So when we talk about emotional balance, we're talking about the ability to experience a process of our emotions in a healthy way. It doesn't mean suppressing our feelings or pretending everything is okay when it's not. But instead, emotional balance is about recognizing our emotions and accepting them and finding ways to manage them so that they don't overwhelm us. I've been so guilty of this. I believe I shared a story earlier this week about me trying to control my anxiety many years ago, and me using mindfulness to kind of help to manage and balance that anxiety for me. But also what mindfulness does, and I just want to add on to this, is that it helps to balance and help manage our emotional balance so we can have a more healthier well-being in life. So when we are emotionally balanced, we are better able to navigate the challenges of daily life, and it improves our relationship. What it does is helps us to make clearer decisions, and it allows us to respond to situations with more patience and understanding. And it also contributes to our mental clarity and overall well-being. So I don't even know what just happened right there. Like truly, it's like my brain just stuck for a moment. It just like stuck for a moment. Like it was like on a replay. But anyway, let's keep going. All right. So with these benefits of emotional balance, they are very huge. They're huge. And you'll notice an increase in your ability to handle stress, more fulfilling in relationships, and better overall mental health. So, but by achieving emotional balance, it takes practice. And that's what we'll be focusing on today. All right. So now what I want to do, I want to take this moment to share a letter that I received from one of our listeners. And initials is AL, who reached out after listening to our Healing Beyond Betrayal series, and he writes, I recently finished listening to your last series, Healing Beyond Betrayal, and it was an emotional journey that resonated with me deeply. However, I found myself struggling with my feelings after those episodes as the pain of betrayal resurfaced. Some of the days I feel empowered and ready to move forward, but other days I feel dark and heavy. Balancing these emotions have been tough and it's impacting my daily life. Any advice on managing these emotional roller coasters? Thank you for your guidance. Sincerely, AL. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, AL, for sharing your experience with us. I want to acknowledge how difficult it can be to process such a deep emotion, especially when they resurface unexpectedly. It's completely normal to experience an emotional roller coaster when healing from something as profound as betrayal. There will be days when you feel strong and empowered, and other days when the weight of those emotions feel too heavy to bear. You see, the key to balancing these emotions lies in allowing yourself to feel them without judgment. But I got a few strategies that might help you. One of the things that I love to do is journaling. It's writing down your emotions. It can be very therapeutic for you, and it helps to process and what you're dealing with in a safe space without needing to explain or justify those feelings to anyone else. That's something that we did last with that series as well. We had a challenge. We had a 30-day challenge. That was one of the challenge that we had, was to write down our feelings in journaling. I believe we had at least four different challenges within that 30-day challenge series that we had to write down, journal, or different aspects, whether it was speaking about the betrayal or writing an apologetic letter to ourselves, a thank you letter to someone else, or forgiveness letter. But we were making sure that we were dedicated to journaling and to writing it down. But another one is self-compassion. All those tough days, we got to remind ourselves that it's okay to feel down. You see, healing ourselves isn't linear. It's okay to take a step back when you need to, but you got to be gentle with yourself during these moments. And one of the important things is support. Don't hesitate to reach out for support, whether it's from friends, family, or a professional. Talking through your emotions with someone who you trust can bring clarity and relief. It really can. All right. So now what I want to talk about within my ebook, there's some insights from my chapter 6, from my ebook, Balancing Act, a guide of harmonizing your life. And this chapter is all about emotional resilience and how we can build it over time. And can I say this? I'm going to be very honest. Just earlier this week, I had to go in and revise this book. And since the beginning of this month, I've actually revised this book several different times in doing it. So what started off, and I'm being very honest, what started off as a 50 plus page. And when I say plus, it was like 58, 59 plus page workbook. It actually now turned into a 102 page workbook. So I don't know what's going to happen by the end of this series, if I'm going to add more or not, So if you find an email, if you signed up for this series, and you might get an email that say, another revised with some added workbook sheets or papers or whatever, just know that is how we're going to be doing this series. Because let me tell you something. Every day of our lives, we learn something new. We learn something new every day in our lives. And I know for me, as I continue to experience and I continue to learn, I'm going to continue to share that with you, my beautiful listeners. I am. Because I have to understand that this is an ongoing journey. This is an ongoing trip. We're continuously running this marathon of what we call self-love, what we call healing, what we call self-awareness, self-perspective, like all of this. And so as I continue to grow, I will continue to share, and I welcome you all on this journey. Or like I said, it started off with 50 plus pages. Now it's at 102. Yes, I will be adding more challenges. So, and I'm gonna say this because I had wrote an ebook last year when I first begun this season of Self Love podcast, and it was for an ebook on self love. And I have now revised it and added more chapters to it, and probably will be releasing it at the end of this series as well. But like I said, as I continue to grow, I continue to learn more things, especially speaking with our beautiful guests that have come on, as well as talking with Dr. Will and other, entities around the life that's be happening. I will be adding on to those books. So make sure that that you sign up for our mailing list, our emailing list, so you can get those notifications when that happens. As well as that we are gearing up for the new year, is that we will be having nice series package deals that you can not own, you can also get, excuse me, the series, the series of the ebooks, the mini ebooks, as well as the challenges. And then I will be adding the courses as well. Yes, I will be adding the courses as well. All right, so let me continue going because I can keep going. All right, so let's talk about emotional resilience. It's an ability to bounce back from difficult experience and manage stress in a more healthy way. It was allows us to navigate life's challenges without becoming overwhelmed by negative emotions. So, one of the most important parts of building emotional resilience is developing self awareness. And this means becoming more aware of how you are feeling in any given moment and recognizing the triggers that might be affecting your emotions. So, once you have the awareness, you can start to shift your perspective and you can manage your emotions more effectively. And another powerful tool for emotional resilience is gratitude. Practicing gratitude, it shifts your focus for what is going wrong in your life to what's going right. It doesn't mean ignoring your problems, but it also helps to maintain it in a more balanced perspective. A simple way to start is by writing down 3 things that you are grateful for each day. It could be as simple as the sunshine, a good conversation, a warm cup of tea. You see, with this practice, it helps to reshape your emotional response over time. So, by developing emotional resilience and practicing gratitude, you are setting your foundation for long term emotional balance. All right. And so, what I want to talk about right now, just real briefly, is that we had some amazing guests this week. And if you're just tuning in today and you haven't, we had Dr. Angelo Valente. I get his name wrong all the time. Valente, that has an amazing book, Finding Joy. And I just finished reading it just the other day. Amazing book. Amazing book. And also we had Meet Rebirth. That great conversation with her. And with her, I learned with that one, and that was it just yesterday, earlier this week, that we talked about living in a moment. It was something that she said, and she said that we have to stop thinking about what we're going to do in the next moment, like actually within the next 30 seconds. That right now we are building our present moment, even as I'm speaking to you right now. And what this does is create a domino effect of things for us to live our life fulfilling, which can help us to balance it. It was something else that she said about subconsciously we live our life balance, but we have to quiet the noise. That's something that Dr. Angelo said as well, that about quieting the noise that are around us. And honestly, I truly believe that totally. Because even before, even before I was to record this episode right here, I actually had a guest that I was supposed to have on. And unfortunately, they had to reschedule at the last minute, at the last minute. And I had to do a deep breath in exercise. We learned this just the other day. I had to do a deep breath to make sure that I don't get overwhelmed, to understand that this was meant to happen, that now I am able to catch up on some of my recordings and some of my things. And I'm just being candid and honest with you guys right here when I'm speaking as that it is a daily that we have to work on balancing our emotions, balancing our feelings. Being mindful of the moment and living. And that's why I'm so excited about this series right here. And I joked earlier last week about, me being a Libra, and the scales is my zone, my zodiac zone. And that's something that I truly been working on the past 10 years of being able to balance those scales. And as I said last week, it's not all about balancing, it's being like here. You have to find what your balance is, because sometimes it can be this up here and one down here. And that's your balance for the day. The thing is about, what is your joy? What is your joy in your life today? What is my joy in this moment right now? I could tell you what my joy is in this moment right now, and what I am grateful for in this moment right now. I am grateful that I am healthy, that I am sitting on this platform of the Season of Self-Love podcast, and I am able to speak to you beautiful people and be authentic and raw, that I can have strength and courage in sharing this journey with you, that I can live amazingly in my purpose. And no matter how much money I have or don't have, is that I am happy. I am truly full of joy and happy because I found my joy. I found my joy. And as I am continue to find my joy every day, every moment of the day, I will share those moments with you all here. I will. All right. So today, as we wrap up this episode, I want to remind you that emotional well-being is a lifelong journey. And it's about creating a space for your emotions and learning from them, and finding ways to balance them. That's whether it's through journaling life, self-awareness, or gratitude, or every step that you take toward emotional balance is a step toward a more healthy and more fulfilling life. Also, I don't want you to forget, please don't forget to check out our free mini ebook, 5 Simple Ways to Set Your Intentions for a Harmonious Life. And then our full workbook of the Balancing Act, a guide of harmonizing your life, both available on our websites. And if you're ready to take to a deep, just join us on this 21-day challenge of living life balance. All right. Again, my beautiful people, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today to this episode of the Season of Self-Love podcast. And I hope that today's discussion has given you some vulnerable insights into our emotional well-being and emotional balance, and how you can start managing your feelings for better well-being. And if you'd like to share your thoughts, your experience, or any questions, feel free to reach out on our social media or send us an email. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It really helps us to reach out to more people on their journey of self-love and healing. So next time, we'll dive even deeper into creating balance in our lives. So be sure to join us for that episode. So until then, keep practicing self-love and embrace the journey towards emotional self-balance. Take care of yourselves. Have a beautiful one. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today, and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.